Good evening, Mr. Anand. I am Vishrut Srivastava. I run a company called Yodaplus. We specialize in artificial intelligence applications, especially in this field of, the field of medicine and pharmaceutical industry and nutraceuticals also. And it is a pleasure to talk to you, an esteemed person as you, who's, who knows it all in the field of nutraceuticals.
No, thank you so much. My name is Anand Swaroop. I run a company, Cepham Inc, which is doing research and creating new ingredients in the space of nutraceuticals. And I'm really excited to use AI as a technology tool which has just come our way, and really wanted to learn from you some of your insights at how and what are the new open fields. I mean, what I learned so far and what I use so far is the NLP engines and other chat GPT kind of.
Yes.
But then what else is going around?
So I think NLP and the large language models are fairly recent development in terms of the adoption. They have been there for a while, but its application has just gone over, has taken the inflection point and has just gone very high. And I think before we get into that, we have to first ask the question: what is human intelligence?
Absolutely.
So before artificial intelligence, we have to understand what is human intelligence. What do we associate it with? We associate it with learning, reasoning, problem solving, sometimes emotions, social interactions, even consciousness. And I believe that artificial intelligence, if a machine portrays even some of these functions, it is in today's world called an AI machine. Some of the high-level functions like consciousness, emotions, they are not yet achievable. Tomorrow maybe, but even the narrow AI applications in large language models like in chat GPT, in image models like DALL-E that has come out by OpenAI, Mid-Journey. So even these have a profound impact, and I think medicine is being disrupted even as we speak, and there's a lot of potential for how we can impact human society by applying AI.
You're so right, because when I'm looking at AI as mostly as a technology, as a tool, and what really fascinates me is the kind of and maybe what we have learned, that how much is really making our life easier.
Right.
For example, if you look at metabolic pathways, once we look at a human condition or any thing which really affects your life, things like sleep, stress, or digestive problems. So these are basically what really shakes up your life. Sometimes you feel down around 2 p.m. and not really have enough energy, and they all have roots in your metabolism somewhere. Some of the pathways are getting disturbed or changed. Again, the pathways are controlled by different enzymes, and the way human body works, the interactions are so vast, and the feedback mechanisms are so complex that it's very difficult to really first figure out how it's going to make a difference in your body and my body, because they'll be working totally different.
Exactly.
You have the same outcome outside, lack of sleep, but my reason could be totally different than your reason, and my solution could be totally different than your solution. So what I find it fascinating, that using this tool, it gives me a much more clearer insight into one's body or metabolism, and actually gives you enough time to think about the solutions, not just to first figure out that how the problem is going to be there.
Right. And bang on personalized medicine, that's the future. And you mentioned the huge amount of data that is generated, whether it's sleep data, whether it is, your other vitals. So that combined with your genome and the whole analysis of that data, and using predictive analytics to understand how same medicine can impact you or me, could be different. And we are in, AI is right now the way to kind of get to that.
Yeah, and then also I think there's a huge kind of lack of understanding on the how plant molecules or plant actives interact with our bodies. We all know that eating healthy really works well for you, but how? We just don't know, and I consider this as a kind of the dark matter out there of every phytomolecule which is out there, any phytochemical. We only know about 1%. Flavones or alkaloids, polysaccharides, proteins which are found in protein, we just know or categorize just 1% of them. So 99% of this thing is outside there. And a tool like NLP or even the AI tools to analyze, sophisticated tools to analyze this thing may open huge doors of understanding that how plants are in the nature and how all the nutritive values of the plant, how they interact with our body, and how we can actually use this in a way which would be more beneficial for human health.
Right, absolutely. And you are very right in mentioning that 99% of the plant chemistry is still yet to be discovered in terms of how it impacts human beings. A very interesting discovery that has happened recently is the 3D structure prediction of proteins. And there's a company that has done it using deep learning models. And I'm sure that combined with the whole mapping of the biochemical pathways in our body, combined with that, we are really moving ahead. And the tradition that is there in India of the herbs and of the plants, moving it towards science, moving it towards using AI and taking it to the world. I think that's a huge opportunity.
Absolutely, and also it gives you, it opens a whole new vista in front of you. Things like, look at the allergies. People who have nut allergy, it's very much described as nut allergy, and we don't know the pinpoint cause. There are all proteins out there. Most of the allergies are caused by proteins and other secondary molecules. But think about a possibility of deep learning and dissecting the seed and really finding all the components which really cause allergy and taking out of those allergic compounds and still having the same product so that everybody can enjoy. I mean, the possibilities are endless out there. Also, it can also change our paradigm, the way we think about the nutritious value of food. What if we can get the same nutrition from the food we eat where we don't need any other supplements? For example, you find a way to look into a wild rice which is out there and which we can bring it into food chain, and it serves all your nutritional purposes. So it really excites me, just the thought of it, of having all these deep learning models, predictive models, and this is going to be really saving a lot of time. But then also it brings a big question: how are we going to train more and more machines doing this thing?
So I think machine training is less of a problem in my opinion. It's training humans to use the machines.
You're right, actually. It should be the other way around. How to really train, there's a huge knowledge gap. Sometimes I look into my specific narrow field and I get excited and I think there are more things should be out there, but I just don't know how to write those prompts.
Right.
So
prompt engineering is a very catchy phrase right now, and people want to know how to kind of exploit all the functionalities of ChatGPT. One of the things that people do is actually ask what prompts should I give. So ChatGPT even gives that to you. So it is basically a process of learning, I think, which thanks to social media and to the general internet, people are catching up very quickly. And I think that it's going to improve productivity once people know how to use these tools. the medical fraternity, the medical professionals, once they get skilled at these tools and are able to use it in ways that even we don't know because they are the experts, will really take us far ahead. And I think there is a shortage of good trained medical professionals, and with AI coming in the play now, that is going to address that by increasing the productivity. Then so we can serve more people. Especially if you go to rural India, you go to the other parts of India, they are not able to access medical care the way we in metros and all over the world in the Western countries are able to. And I think AI as a tool with increase in productivity of medical professionals is a very positive thing.
So do you think, one thing which people often ask, and I also question myself about this thing very often, that will this going to take away a lot of jobs? Will people will be out of jobs, or how is it going to really impact? I mean, I see in my limited interaction with AI that definitely some people I will not be needing anymore, or maybe I have to retrain them in a very different way. But what's your, I mean, since you are neck deep in this area, so do you think there'll be complete shift in the way people are looking at jobs, or there'll be job losses?
So I think we can, to answer that, we have to go one step back, say 20, 30 years ago when computers came in, right? So when computers came in, people had the same question, computers, internet, and the answer to that is yes, there are certain kinds of jobs that may not be there, but retraining is very important, and there are other jobs that come up, and those are more productive jobs. And it's my personal belief that as humans, we should not be doing mundane jobs. We should be doing something that justifies our existence, and so I don't feel that it's going to be a negative. There are going to be job losses, but with retraining, we are going to be a better society.
So yeah, and I think when we approach the way we do things, and the way things have changed over the years. I remember during my research days, we never used to have computers. I used to go to a library, take out every chemical abstract which was stacked in libraries, and you have to go up the ladders to get it out. The Xerox machine was just invented, and we used to really take copies. I used to come to Delhi in libraries where I would take dot matrix printouts and read them. But now how fast we can do things. So I think once we realize that amount of data we have generated as humans over these years, and using these tools and training the machines on those tools, and actually getting advanced version of the knowledge management we have, should be the way moving forward. What's your opinion about that?
Absolutely. There is a lot of data that has not yet been exploited for getting good outcomes. Even today, even when we are using our health our health tracking devices, if we are using our Apple Watch or tracking, we are getting all these vitals, and these vitals are being generated and they're being stored somewhere. But right now there is no training. There are privacy issues that come up out there. But once we sort out the privacy issues, once we let patients or humans own their own data, but in a anonymous way share that, there is a potential for a lot of more discoveries, a lot of more inventions, and I think that there's a lot to come. We're just at the beginning.
So do you think one fine day we'll see this thing that AI could be also personalized for people? I don't want to share my data. I have data on my vitals, my body, my families, and then I don't want this to go out. Can I have access to an AI engine which can really answer my questions? And
absolutely. So the beauty about AI is that unlike traditional computer programming, where you have to tell the computer exactly what to do, you give instructions and you say if this happens, then this should happen. In AI, what happens is that you don't know what is the next challenge, and the outcome of that challenge actually trains the model. And so your data, when it comes to the model, it need not have any information of that. It can just run its model and take your data, give you an outcome, and then it need not be optimized with your data. Even if it is optimized, it's very hard to get it out from there, because the way it is stored in a neural network, the deep neural networks that are there which store this data, it's not easy to explain as of today.
Do you think AI would ever be decentralized?
So I think AI is already with ChatGPT to some extent centralized now, but decentralization is the future. Not just in medicine, this is in general. So for example, people, you take these images and you modify the images using AI and you cannot make out. So decentralization at its core is blockchain. We talk about blockchain. So blockchain is basically, you have your keys and you encrypt all your information, and only someone else can decrypt it, who you want, right? And so the whole NFT space is, and the decentralization comes in there. But we are far away from there, I think, right now. We have to first tackle the beast that is there, which is we have to understand what is there, how to use it, how to use it for the betterment of society.
It really fascinates me that the vastness of use of this tool, but I want to go a little bit more narrow where we are and what we are looking at and the challenges we have and where we can actually use it in an immediate word. And I think that's where is a good point to start. And for example, I was looking at Nutrify's tool, which was offered out there today, yesterday in the summit, and it was fascinating just to think that using data available to us and how you actually merging the data to a targeted application. It's really a great tool. What it does is that it really cuts short my timing, and I can actually think more creative things, and also it basically eliminates a lot of things for me. So today, my entire thinking and my process of formulation is stuck to like maybe 1,000 things which I know. But what I've seen in the demo, that 10,000 or 15 or maybe it's growing database of products out there, where I can think more creatively. I mean, what machine tells you or a tool tells you that your imagination or your products are actually limited. And it really forces you to use your creative part of your brain to go beyond that whole idea. You rightly said, human minds are not made to do mundane things, so it could be a great example out here.
Yeah, and I think Nutrify Genie is a great example where the whole use of AI as a tool to improve productivity comes out, where you would take 6 months to a couple of years to come out with a label claim. Now you can do it in a few clicks. So
it's amazing, and this is one tactical example we see, and I think you must be knowing more about this thing. What other cutting edge technologies you've seen recently in the field of medicine or human bodies?
Yeah, so we have already spoken about the drug discovery using protein structure prediction. We have spoken about personalized medicine. What is not very new but very, very effective is also the application of AI in clinical trials. We all know how expensive a clinical trial is and how important it is for a clinical trial to succeed, or have for us to be able to predict that the way we are going is wrong. So basically AI has been used a lot in optimizing clinical trials, in recruiting patients, the right patients, in screening them, and in basically enrolling them, and the whole life cycle of the clinical trials. The increase in probability of success of the clinical trials, it is mind-blowing what's happening right now in that space.
Do you ever think that we can use AI in something very different, something like social engineering, something like changing the way we think, the biases we have, and changing lives somewhere?
That's a very philosophical question, and it is. I think we all would like that, and as of today, we don't have an answer to that. But the way things are moving, you never know. 5 years, 10 years down the line, this whole thing of consciousness, of emotions, of social interaction, these will be things. Maybe everyone will get free with all the tools that are there, and then they'll have a chance to work on these problems of how to.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that the collective consciousness and thinking about the pain and suffering we have and is the way out there to back it up or actually analyze it using data or converting this to data points and looking at it more objectively.
I think the answer to that actually lies in biology. More than AI, it's in biology, because our emotions are the way we deal with people is all basically chemical reactions in our brain.
Absolutely.
It's all chemicals interacting with each other, and the brain itself is very complex. So understanding the human brain would actually, I think, and applying that back to AI would really maybe get that breakthrough. But I think we are still not. We're still far away from there.
Do you ever lose your sleep or AI?
No, I get good sleep because of AI.
Absolutely right. I think it's a great. I think it's a great tool what we have in our hands, and I think the way we're going to shape things based on technology we learn and based on AI, what AI is teaching us back, that the seeing the bigger picture.
Right, it's important to see the bigger picture. Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of fear because what is happening is that a few people are getting very adept at it and few people don't know about it. And so just like the advent of, say, guns that happened before, right? And so that imbalance is what is causing the fear. But I think with information much more freely available now, everyone is going to get adept at it. And there has to be regulation. Like in any industry, there should be regulation in AI, in the field of AI. But overall, I don't lose sleep. I'm very, very positive about the future.
It's great. So thank you so much. And I think I learned a bit of from you today. And we're all excited. I'm excited to look forward to see more and more technology coming our way. Thank you for Nutrify to put us together to talk about it, and we'll continue our discussion.
Yes,
thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.